So we're going to take a look at the Britool Expert circlip, or if you're in America, snap ring pliers. The Expert range is otherwise known as Mac or Stanley Expert in other places such as the States. They're slowly changing it to be just www.experttool.com and moving on from the all the other aspects, although this one has just got Expert at the top of here. This one has still got some remnants to Stanley on there, but they're kind of phasing it all out now to just call it Expert full stop. It's a bit of a weird one because Draper Expert stuff has been called Expert for you know, a really long time, much longer than this Britool Expert and Mac Expert stuff has, so I don't know what the Draper feel about that, but you know, there you go. I've opened up the packets. They do come in these little seal packets. Now, for a while I was using one of these circlip pliers with the interchangeable heads. I think I've actually got another head to go with this that's in one of my cantilever toolboxes. This might be, I picked this up from Halford's as I needed it. It might be one of Halford's own ones, or it might actually be a Sealy. It might actually be a Sealy one that I bought from Halford's. I can't quite remember. I bought this to remove the snap ring, or the circlip as we call it, from the clutch basket on my motorcycle about over a year ago, something like that, and it did the job. It did the job fine. You'll find these, actually we might do a video on these, but you find these, most tool manufacturers do a version of these with the interchangeable heads, some with the 3 heads, some with the 4, and it did the job. It pulled it out, but you know, and then they don't feel that bad, but I just felt like a bigger one would have been, you know, a bigger stat, you know, all in one would have been probably more ideal. So on eBay I came across some of these brand new. Somebody wasn't obviously using them. They were wrapped. I've just cut them open. Basically selling them for the price of what one of them would cost. Usually they do cost around about £20 odd. So I managed to get the 3. I was going to get some beta large circlip pliers, but so that's the trouble with when it comes to circlip or snap ring, as you like to call them, pliers. There's 2 types. There's the usual type like this with the spring hinge type. Then there's the French type, which is a type where it kind of goes over kind of like a snake arc like that, and there's a spring as well, but they're not exactly the same as what these type are. I'll probably pick up, because I'll probably need some smaller all-in-ones, and I know Bergen do 2 types. There were some mixed views on the Bergen usual type, this top kind of design, where some people said the one nib or the one tip was ever so slightly bigger in diameter than the other side, and then their French ones for the smaller ones were given good praise. So the French ones would probably be the better ones to buy from Bergen in their smaller I think that's about 5 or 6 inch size from them, so we might have a look at them some down the line some point. Okay, so these ones are a 90-degree offset angle, as you can see. Just take a look at the tips there. And on the packet, and it might actually be worth you keeping the packet and actually just keeping them inside, putting them back in, because you've got on the packet there, you've got your circlip. Again, it tells you a 90-degree angle, but you've got your circlip size 40 to 100 millimeters circlip on there. And the part number for this is E117919 for this particular one. Now this one looks to be bigger than these two. It doesn't actually say the actual size of the thing. I would suspect these are little 6-inch or smaller 6-inch pliers, and these are somewhere like a 9-inch, a bigger 9-inch job. You can see, they'll open out the circlip. This little one here again, look at the tips. Yeah, it's an internal one, so you'd put that into somewhere similar scenario to where I got the circlip or snap ring out from the clutch basket on a motorcycle. You'd put that into the one part on the basket where the circlip is, into the rings, and then you'd come press the clip and remove it. So, but that looks like a smaller 6-inch one. Again, you've got the part numbers stamped on the actual clips themselves. So this one is E11791. It's actually got 19 to 60 millimeter on there, which corresponds there 19 to 60 millimeter circlip. So you might not need the bag after all. I don't know if for the circlip, it's the circlip size. Yep, 40 to 100 millimeter on that bigger one as well. So I don't need to. The springs on them are just they're just drilled and then just placed in there. Quite easy to close up. I just use my thumb and little finger just to show you how quite easy they are. There's not much resistance to them. This one, a little bit more resistance, but again not a lot. They're just designed, these ones obviously designed to stay open, so they compress the circlip. Next one, E117910, 19 to 60 millimeters. Again, obviously it corresponds to the packaging, so if that's on there, you know, there's a good chance that you might not need to, but saying, I don't know whether that's just etched on, whether that's going to wear over time, which might leave you playing a guessing game. So these two, although slightly different, they're but the same size circlips, and obviously being the same size. I say a 6 or 7 6 or 7 inch. Get the measuring tape out and take a look. Obviously that's for an external. Where's that other one? Was for a more internal clip. Now obviously you get, well, when they say internal and external circlips, obviously seasoned people and DIYs will know exactly what I'm going on about, but I found the back of the one circlip more interchangeable. You'll see that you've got the external clips which look like, but they go around the outside obviously. Usually a pin that fits in a cylinder or like a tubing, and you've also got the internal ones which the clips actually fit inside the pin, or the you know, usually like a tubing or a bearing kind of setup. You have this thin rubber grip that just you know, barely covers the metal frame on all of them. There's no sometimes you get like a rubber coating just underneath that as well, but there's none of that here. So this is, you know, very similar to Snap-on, in fact, but they put a thin layer on there. I personally find it a bit, I do find that kind of thing a bit cheap. I do prefer the you know, the quality of the metal of the thing is the most and the tool itself is the most important, but the you know, I do find the thin rubber, you know, it's just a bit cost cutting. I do prefer something a bit thicker handled, you know, a bit more ergonomic, something like that. Yeah, it's a nice brand at this price, the Expert brand. So again, it's nothing too flash, but if you're looking to buy some, you know, and you fancied actually the Expert, and this is basically why I do these videos, you wanted to just take a look, you know, at the quality of them and what they're like before you take the plunge. And there you go. Obviously you can usually tell when something's an internal or an external circlip because it's the way the handle part the way it's, well, yeah, the top as well, but the way it sits, you'll notice that that one sits in an open stance, whereas that one sits in a closed stance. And when you move and you close the arms, they open out the top, whereas on these ones, when you close the arms, they close the top, which obviously corresponds to the the different circlip, which needs to be squeezed closed to pull it out, and the other one which needs to be prized apart to pull it out. And you also, the ones that are in awkward positions, you have things like that, like the 90-degree angle. Again, I'm a little bit hemmed in today because I've been getting my pots ready for the back, out for the backyard. That's welcome to the adulthood, I suppose, but for children, that's what it's like. But there you go. So that's the Expert. I know that, like I said before, some parts of the world it's Mac Expert or Stanley Expert, or maybe even something else, but here they're known as Britool Expert. That's when Facom brought Britool and started making stuff under their name. But obviously, it's better for them since Mac and Stanley took over to centralise the name now as Expert and keep all the packaging and everything, the tools, exactly the same, and then distribute them out to wherever in the world they're going, I suppose, cutting costs and all that. But if you're interested in some of these, they're a good alternative to the Beta. I was going to pick up the Beta. I think the Beta set of 4, is it? French type ones. They're for large ones. They're about £50. I think these ones are about usually about £20 each. Obviously, I managed to get these for 3 for around that price. So usually this is about £60 worth, all in one. So whether you need to keep the packaging or not is up to you, because it actually is on the etching. But it's just whether that's going to stay on the tool itself after use. I shall probably risk it and get rid of them. So there we go.